it's live.
Oh my God.
I've never played any of these songs before, by the way.
What a time.
Not like this.
This song is called Every Day's the Weekend.
We probably should have done this before.
And it's hovering on the end.
Like thousands of Australians who work in music, ARIA-nominated Alex Lahey is at home when she should be on the road.
Touring for most artists is the vast majority of your income.
Alex doesn't just support herself as a full-time touring artist. Her gigs provide income for her band and a whole host of people who work in touring.
Lighting, any sort of stage-hands or techs, front of house, drivers, merch people, tour management, all of those people are casualised. They're very much at risk because their income has completely ceased.
In her own words, Alex and her team live from gig to gig. And we're talking about a live act that's played Splendour and Lollapalooza and has around 215,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Why is it that artists can only make money from touring? Because what we've learned is that when that is taken away from us, we're completely screwed. Whether it be streaming or merch or maybe things that we haven't even thought of yet, we need to find ways in order to retain more money that comes from those places instead of just relying on the one source.
Online festivals were quick to get behind the music scene when social distancing came in. So far, Alex has played Isol-Aid, where artists donate a set via their Instagram to help raise money for Support Act. That's a crisis relief service for people who work in music, which also got $10 million from the federal government recently.
Yeah, just to play by myself to a phone camera for some reason was very nerve-wracking for me. And even more so than before I do some of my own performances like with my band and in front of an audience.
And Delivered Live, which is backed by the Victorian government. It raises funds for the music industry through ticket sales, and all performers and crew get paid.
They were, both really fun experiences and new experiences for sure.
Thanks, guys.
The Isol-Aid one we did to raise funds for Support Act. I worked on that all week. I was really nervous about that one in particular.
Sarah McLeod is from multi-ARIA award-winning band The Superjesus.
I'm not much of a piano player, but I really want to learn. I really love the idea of piano. Both of the Superjesus songs I had to rewrite because they're not on piano, obviously. Got up to the time, I was like, all right, I'm on in 10 minutes, and I was like, oh no.
Sarah wanted her Isol-Aid set to be different to the gig she played on Facebook Live just the weekend before, an online version of her Killin' It Till I'm Dead tour that got cancelled.
And because it was a one-woman show and I was playing electric guitar and bass and I had drum triggers that I'd programmed, I thought I can still actually do this just from home. I can play the whole show and it's going to sound like a full band. Now that it's online, this is the tricky part. I think, well, I've just played that whole show and it's online, so I can't play it again.
Sarah has embraced Patreon as a way to hang out and play exclusive online gigs for her hardcore fans, aka McLeod's Wolfpack.
The only thing is, with a heavier band though, it's a lot harder to make it sound good. It's really easy to make it sound good acoustic, it's easy on the piano, but for a full rock show, it's really hard to make it sound good unless you have some pretty expensive gear.
That's what that is, so that should sound marginally like that.
Introducing Sophomore from Melbourne.
We've never done a live stream before this pandemic.
First time maybe was a bit awkward, but then you kind of just let it go.
I mean, it sounds pretty raw and we don't have a gazillion microphones and all that stuff, but I think it's just nice seeing the energy across the screen.
We'd be so good together.
Second time though, heaps better, even with the ugly lights on. So what did they learn from their first crack at it?
Obviously the first one we watched back and it was a bit too loud, so I think we turned down a little bit. The melodies are super important, the harmonies, and we want people to definitely hear that because they get that at the live shows.
Still, it's not the same, and never will be, but it's like, for the purpose of the exercise, it's cool because people like reacting and writing comments, and then you interact with them, and then you just hit shit.
Since becoming an ISO Nation, hey, that's a great name for an online punk fest. We've learned to love live-streamed gigs and have realised how they can reach more people in more places, even when the venues reopen, as long as, the bands and crew can get paid.
Online streaming is really a godsend, I guess. If you're not able-bodied or if you're pregnant, or if you're not great in crowds, or if you have, an aversion to bright lights, or you've broken your foot, or any sort of physical or emotional barriers preventing you from going to gigs or festivals, there's still a way that you can enjoy live music.
I feel like it's going to be a while before bands are able to tour internationally, and if we're trying to work through different models to be able to create that opportunity to geocode so that you can say, hey, everyone in Nashville to Broken Hill, we can geocode it purely to that area, and then you can put the tickets on sale. But a lot of ideas that come from this will end up being used, I feel, moving forward beyond this time.
G'day everyone, thanks for watching. Online gigs, hey, they've really come into their own lately. If you haven't already, grab a ticket for the next Delivered Live, look up Isol-Aid on Instagram and donate to Support Act if you can. Aussie music could really use our help right now. And if you need some new shoes to mosh around your lounge room in, our sponsor FSW Shoes has got you covered. They're a family-run business that ships around Australia, so jump onto fswshoes.com.au and grab yourself a bargain. That's it from us. Until next Good Shout Friday, rock on. Wait, do people even say that anymore?